In this project, I want to show you how to use up all these odds and ends of papers that you may have in your stash. If you do any kind of paper crafting, you will have tons of these leftover pieces, and you can create something like this. Welcome to Craft It Sweetly. I'm Diana. Thanks so much for being here. So in this video, I'll show you how to create these pretty woven paper designs from all your scrap pieces of paper. Very easy project to do. If you do any kind of paper crafting, I'm sure you have stashes and stashes of pieces like this that you don't quite know what to do with. In this video, I want to show you an easy way to use up some of those scraps. So first off, we need to cut off the main color of this design, and I'm going to use this as the main color. And I'm just gonna cut even strips, and I'm just gonna use a paper trimmer as a guide to make sure that all these are even. And then just cut it. It doesn't have to be this width, whatever width you want to do, but I will just cut a whole bunch of these. Alright, this one's a little too small, so I'll just go to the next piece and cut some more from here. Alright, so that should do it of this color. And then we need some accent colors for this. So this is gonna be our main color. And then I'm gonna use, I have these patterned papers, and these both go well with this color. So I'll just trim a bunch of these as well, of each one of them. So I have a few of these, and then I'm gonna cut a few of this other color as well. Now the next step is to take your main color, which is the vertical one, and line them all up. I'm not so concerned that they're not the same length. We will eventually trim these off and just arrange them right next to each other. But you do want to make sure that they're right next to each other this way. Okay, once you have this, then I'm going to use repositionable tape to keep this in place. Right at the top here. So right now, these are not moving anywhere. Now I'm gonna take my accent, my coordinating colors, and decide what pattern you want to do. And for this, I'm going to use a skewer just to help lift these. It's easier than trying to guide the paper through these. And once I have these lifted, then I'm just gonna take this paper and slide it underneath. And as you can see, this is much easier than trying to get the paper. And I'm gonna push this all the way to the top, right there. Now you could do the same color, you could do whatever color, whatever order you want these. Now if you could lift two of them, so let's do this. So I'll lift two up, one down, two up, one down, two up, one down, and then this one. And for this one, I'm gonna use the opposite color. Right there, take the skewer out and push this up. So you do want to be right against the other paper that's up here. So let's do this. And you can create all kinds of fun patterns with this depending on which tabs you lift, just like in weaving. Now I'm gonna do two yellows. And you can use your skewer to push this up to make sure that it's right against it. You don't have gaps. Okay, now I'm going to repeat the pattern that's here to kind of balance it off. So it's going to be two up, one down, two up, one down, two up, one down. and then it's the blue, the greenish one. All right, so at this point what I want to do is, I can't lift this because then everything's going to fall apart. So I want to glue all these pieces so they stay in place. So anything that's above, up here, and then I will flip it so that I do the other side. Alright, so once you have these all glued down and it's set, then I need to trim off the excess. And then this can be applied to the front of a card, just like that. So I am going to add a little bit of background color to this so it's not directly on the card. I'll use this, so this is gonna go right on here. And now I'm just gonna do glue on the back. I guess I'll do it a little higher and then add the sentiment at the bottom. Another one that I did just to show you a different pattern is this. So this had the black for the main colors and then the weaving went this way. But you can really create any combination, and this is nice because you can use up all those little pieces of paper that you have. So you can come up with some cool designs. Besides just using it directly as is, you can start cutting shapes out. Now you don't want to cut the shape out directly like this because then it will all fall apart. So before doing that, I'm going to run this through the Xyron machine. Now when you do this, obviously the maximum length width is going to be whatever your machine is for. This one is 5 inches. And then once you put this through, before you take the backing off, I'm going to use my heart cutter to cut a design out. So you can kind of figure out exactly how you want it, you know, like where on this you want the cut to be. So let's say I'm gonna do it right here so that it's nicely centered. I'm going to put just a little bit of repositionable tape here so it doesn't shift when I run it through my die cutting machine. Okay, I cut this out and now I can apply this to a backing. Now this is just a big sticker. You may be able to use this for something else, so you know you can use this as an outline somewhere. So don't necessarily throw this out. And then I'm going to apply this right here. It's just a big sticker at this point. So I'm just going to take the backing off. Okay, I took the backing off very carefully, especially around the edges, because that can easily release. And then I'm just going to apply this to my backing here, or to the backdrop, I should say. And then this will go on front of the card. And I think it would be nice just to have a little bit of height to this. So I'm going to use, for this, instead of just applying it directly to the card, I will use a little bit of foam. And then once you've peeled those off, then we can just apply it on the card. And then same thing, I'll just add a sentiment to the bottom here. And for the sentiment, I'm using the Creative Stamps from the flower set. It just says happy birthday, but it has little cross stitching effect to it. And since this is raised, I'm just going to stamp it directly onto the card. So there you have this option. So a couple of different options in creating these woven paper designs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you end up making them, please feel free to post them in my Facebook group. Would love to see what you come up with. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next project.